that's good enough next time.
All right, everybody. I'm going to do something I am unaccustomed to doing in this role. So, one, I am not the person who should be chairing this meeting. The person who should be chairing this meeting is Councilmember Henderson, but we just learned this afternoon that sadly her father died. So I would like to start this meeting with a moment of silence in memory of Angie's father. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for taking a moment to recognize that. She had a very good reason for not being here on her first evening as chair. I did this for the past year, so this will probably go as quickly, if not more quickly, than planning. We've got basically 4 resolutions to do for anybody who is new. So first of all, let's also welcome new committee members. I think most of the committee is new. So,
You ran a bunch up.
yeah, apparently people didn't appreciate my leadership. So. No, I think this committee will do well, and I'm glad to be back with Councilmember Allen. Great to have several new faces here as well. We only had Councilmember Porterfield for a very brief time, but she's moved on to chair something else at this point, so that would be good as well. What we had gotten into the habit of doing with a few committees last term was, if there were issues that were generally non-controversial, and much of the work of this committee can be administrative, we would try to create a consent agenda so that we could run through them, and anything that needed to be discussed or that a council member wanted to address specifically, we would take the time on those, but otherwise try to pass those. Has anybody who has read through the agenda got items on this agenda that they would prefer not be included on consent?
I just have some questions on Resolution 14.
Resolution 14, all right, the one at the very top. We'll take that one out. Anybody got anything else, or could we take 15, 16, and 17 on consent? All right, hearing no objection, I'm going to recommend that we do part of this as consent agenda, and Councilmember Allen, we will come back to 14. RS 2019-15 amends ordinance number BL 2019-1553 to authorize the Metro Government of Nashville and Davidson County to abandon existing sanitary sewer main and easements, and to accept one sanitary sewer manhole and easement for 2 properties located at 2995 Sidco Drive and 4030 Armory Oaks Drive. Our resolution RS 2019-16 approves agreements between the Metro Government of Nashville and Davidson County and Harpeth Valley Utility District for water and sewer lines related to utility services at the Fordyce Center in Bellevue. RS 2019-17 approves agreements between the Metro Government and Harpeth Valley Utility District for water and sewer lines related to utility services at Nashville Fire Station number 37 in Bellevue. I would accept a motion to approve those on a consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, hearing none, we have passed those, and now I'll bring us back to RS 2019-14, grants the Metro Department of Water and Sewage Services authority to enter into memorandum of understandings with Metro departments for ongoing maintenance of stormwater control measures on Metro property, and exempting Metro departments from the requirement of recording long-term maintenance agreements. And Councilmember Allen, I'm assuming your question is why that is not memoranda of understanding.
Well, no. Actually, I just listened to a great course this on.
I'll follow up with you after committee and get to your real question.
Let's talk about that. The real question was, if I understood this correctly, this means that Metro Water Services has said they're going to do the maintenance on all of these, as opposed to having each of the committees do their own maintenance. Is that?
No, Council Lady. On Metro grading permits, obviously, when we approve plans, what we do is we require long-term maintenance agreements for all water quality and all water quantity. So think detention ponds, water quality units. We do that for both private sites and for Metro sites. For the private sites, we require that there be a long-term maintenance agreement recorded, because we want that to run with the property in perpetuity. So if the property ever changes hands, then that new property owner will still have those responsibilities to maintain those structures. In the case of Metro, and Tara can elaborate, we have to treat ourselves the same way, but in this instance, since Metro properties do not routinely change hands, that need is not necessarily needed, and we feel we can better handle that by MOU where we work all the time with the different departments for them to know. We actually do the inspections, we give them a list of their sites and tell them what needs to be done. So we provide the inspection services, and then they do the actual maintenance on those sites per their understanding. This will also help them with budgeting knowledge, because every year this list is becoming different, say for general services, as they're building new sites. So that's the purpose of this. We view this as a win-win. It'll be less trouble. There are legal ramifications to this when metro departments have to do these, especially the airport or some of the other departments. So we see this as this will be a better system all the way around for this setup.
And does this affect NES at all? Is that,
No,
is it just considered a private entity and so that it
That's
doesn't
correct.
affect this? No, okay,
They're
not
not
at all.
technically metro departments. I'm assuming metro departments that are affected are in agreement that this is a better approach.
Yes. Yes.
And when you say maintenance for stormwater stuff, is this things like on pervious paving, keeping it so that it continues to
Keeping
absorb
vaults
water?
backed out, making sure detention pond outlet structures are not obstructed, those sorts of things. Stormwater treatment structures and stormwater detention vaults, they have to be maintained over time. It's one of those things that the more you stay on top of it, the less cost there is. We have taken that on ourselves as far as the inspections, and so far we've had very good results with that, very good success working with the other departments.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you for that clarification.
Councilmember Allen, anything else?
Oh, I'm happy.
Other committee members? All right, I would accept a motion to approve RS 2019-14.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Yeah. All right, and real quickly, wait before everybody gets up and leaves. For the benefit of new committee members, and I saw Courtney just walk in, we had previously gotten also to the point where we did staff reports. Would Metro Department staff mind introducing themselves, since we do have so many new members? And Courtney, we can start with you.
Okay, I'm Courtney Stone. Some of you know me, but I see a lot of new faces. I'm sorry that I was late. It's like being late for your first day of work, but there was an accident at 5th and Woodland.
Not District 19.
I am the PIO/communications director at Public Works, and I come to most, if not all of these meetings, so you'll see me around.
And actually, sorry, Jim.
no worries, I'm not offended.
Courtney just usually delivers our staff report.
No, I'm Jim Snyder. I work out of the director's office at Metro Water Services. And I'll be up here most of the time presenting legislation. And I work closely with John
I
Hunt.
see somebody else lurking out there in the hall who should come in. Yeah, look at you, John.
John Hunt. So that's my segue to introduce John.
Okay.
Long time no see. I've actually met everyone. I've actually met everyone.
All right, excellent.
I'm Mark Sturdivant. I'm the Director of Public Works. I come to most of the meetings, so you'll probably see me a lot too, and for other reasons as well.
My name's Michael Klein. I'm with Metro Water Services Stormwater. I'm in charge of most of the environmental compliance activities, and I come when Jim and John tell me I need to.
When we want content experts, that's when we'll bring additional staff with us.
I'm Kristen Cumro, Finance Manager at Metro Department of Public Works, and I do whatever Mark and Sharon.
I'm Tara Ladd. I'm with the Metropolitan Department of Law, and I represent Water and Public Works, and they try to do what I tell them to do.
I'm Sharon Smith. I don't do anything she says to do. I clearly need to give Courtney my back cave entrance to how to get up here. She left before me. I'm Assistant Director of Public Works, and my areas are Hub Nashville, which is housed at Public Works, beautification, all the solid waste planning, and so I even though I'm not over the solid waste and recycling collection, I'm more likely to be your liaison with our operations folks on that issue, and also all of Nashville's landfills. And special events, sorry.
That's it.
And I'm Sharon Wallstrom. I'm the Deputy Director of Public Works. And I guess after all these introductions, I'm the everything else. So if you've got a Public Works thing, feel free to.
And I'm the good Sharon.
Some talk has started early in the term.
You'll have to decide.
Well, and we did create staff report space on the agenda. Historically, when we started last term, most agendas were driven by the legislative activity, but we know that particularly for Public Works, there are infrastructure issues countywide. We started to get really good information just on a reporting basis about potholes or, trash carts or whatever else. And so we wanted to create some space, time permitting, on agendas to allow staff to give a report and to have some back and forth that wasn't necessarily about a specific bill. Courtney, did you have anything on the first day of school?
Just the one thing that I am going to mention is that we're very excited that we are currently milling and paving for our North Nashville Bikeway network. So that is going to be on Buchanan, Arthur, Ed Temple, D.B. Todd, and Monroe, in addition to maybe a couple of other small sections of street. It's a really big project, and I think paving starts on Arthur tomorrow. I'll let you know that, Councilman O'Connell, and we hope to have it completed in the next couple of months.
And the only other thing I'll add is that you all just recently announced the next round of participants in the traffic calming.
Yes, we did. And I know that that is an extremely popular program, and I know I've heard through the grapevine that some of you want to come talk to us about traffic calming. I will say that is a program we are very interested in growing in the future so that we're able to accommodate more neighborhoods. We had 91 neighborhoods considered in this go-around.
Courtney, what kinds of things would it take to grow that program? Would it be something like of a fiscal nature, perhaps?
So there is a currency that we use here in the United States, and when we receive that, we are able to do more.
Not county shells.
All right, very good.
You all selected how many neighborhoods?
So we did 8. We selected 8 in March, and we just selected 8 more. So 16 total for the year.
So for everybody present on this committee, committees are a great way to interact with staff to build relationships that can help you serve your constituents more effectively. Before we adjourn, does anybody have questions for Courtney or other staff from Public Works?
Yeah, I would like to know if you provided this water you're trying to set a standard here as chair.
I figured I wanted to have my last appearance here as your chair to be something that Councilmember Henderson could not hope to live up to.
I like the picture
In
and
fact,
all.
before you arrived, we actually named that the Councilmember Hurt commemorative water pitcher.
Oh, okay, thank you. I like that. I thought I saw my initials on it.
I'm
Yes.
hoping that we can count on your vote on that.
Thank you.
I would ask one question. Do we want, because CIB items are due and Public Works plays a large role in that, is there any just relevant information that we should talk about in terms of how we try to integrate what we need for our district and what y'all know we need?
You guys have a couple hours?
You sound like you're asking for a special committee meeting, Councilmember.
Well, the CIB is coordinated through the planning department. So, if you have ideas for the capital budget, I think the best thing to do is contact them. They usually collect all that information and then they ask us for information. Although you're perfectly free to come and talk to us anytime and we'll try to help you develop an idea if you have something that you're working on.
You'll help put a price tag on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess it's not too soon.
That's due October 30th.
If it gets extended.
All right, other questions? That's a good one. If not, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you.
Great job.